In order to properly educate the public, people need to know the basis of autism and how it affects the many children in America who suffer from this disorder. Hi, my name is Paige Lewis, and I'll be discussing autism in children. First off, I would like to discuss what autism is, then discuss how it affects the children suffering from the disorder, and lastly, I will discuss treatments for those with autism. Now that you know what I'll be discussing, I will move on to my first point. I will be defining what autism is. Autism is a neurological mental condition characterized by disorders. Myers characterizes the disorders in varying degrees by difficulties in social interaction, verbal and nonverbal communication, and repetitive behaviors. There's also no one specific cause for autism. Children with autism can often suffer from intellectual disabilities, difficulties in motor coordination, and attention and physical health issues. However, there are few that instead suffer but excel in music, art, and math. Now knowing what autism is, it's important to know how this condition affects the children. Autism affects a child's development. Autism directly affects a child's social interaction, communication, and behavior. Butler had stated that when it comes to social interaction, the child may fail to develop age-appropriate relationships, impairment of the use of nonverbal behaviors such as eye contact, and have the inability to respond to social situations. With communication, children with autism lack the use of spoken language. For example, my little brother wasn't able to fully speak until he was 5 and took speech therapy until he was 8. There's also behavioral challenges, such as being overly absorbed with one interest or activity. There's also the need to stick with a rigid, specific schedule, which also ties into the repetitive behaviors. Now knowing what autism is and its effects, I'll be discussing treatments. There is no cure for autism, but there's definitely treatments that can be taken. There are medications you can take, such as Risperdal, Hadol, stated by emedicine.com. The medications have serious side effects, and you would have to be very careful with the dosage, but it will help them function and be more effective. A child could be sent to school for special needs, so he or she is able to function to the fullest capability and learn effectively also. There's not much you can do when it comes to autism, but provide patience and love for the child and not make them feel like they're different. Children with autism are no different from any other child. They need love and care. They like to have fun. They would want to go to the museum. It's just they need some of them just have socially are impaired. But they're just like each child and want just as much love and want to have just as many friends. With that being said, I hope you have a better understanding of autism. In conclusion, these are my main points I've discussed today. I've discussed what autism is, the effects of autism in children, and the treatments used for autism. People need to know the basis of autism in order to understand what the children suffer from and go through. Thus, it is important to educate the people in autism and how these poor children have to live day to day and their disabilities and how they'll be affected when they grow up. Thank you for listening to my speech. Autism is very close to my heart. I believe we should have more autism research done. I decided to choose this speech because I know we are having a autism building built on Texas Tech campus, and I think that's great. So I hope I was able to affect you and persuade you into learning more about autism. Thanks.